In this video, I want to talk about how your nervous system may actually be creating chaos in your life in order for you to stay safe. Hi, my name is Tammy Viger, and I am a higher self alchemist, and I help women get out of the patterns of overanalyzing, overthinking, logic overload, burnout, and undervaluing themselves so that they can remember the truth of who they are, step into their true value and power, and create the life that makes their heart sing. How is your nervous system potentially creating chaos in your life in order to stay safe? And that might be a head scratcher. Like, what? Your nervous system is the gatekeeper. It is what will allow in and will not allow into your experience. And your nervous system collects data points throughout your whole life. If you're programmed for, let's say, scarcity that you may have inherited from your parents and grandparents, your nervous system from the day you were born and potentially even in womb has been collecting data points to prove that you are someone who is safe with scarcity. And you will just manifest that and manifest that and manifest that. Even if you are trying to manifest abundance, if your nervous system doesn't see abundance as safe, it will be really hard to get it because it only sees scarcity as safe. So this is one of the ways that your nervous system can really, really, really screw you up when it comes to you being able to manifest the life that your heart actually wants. Now, when it comes to safety, this is a tricky one. One of the things that I started to find in my clients in the last couple of months is that they didn't actually feel safe with being safe. And that seems like a paradoxical question. It's like, what do you mean you don't feel safe with being safe? Well, we all have had traumatic lifetimes. Our ancestors have had traumatic lifetimes. And through those experiences, somewhere along the line, it has been learned that safety is actually like fake, like faux, isn't to be trusted. And in that, what happens is your nervous system actually starts to feel safer in the energy of chaos. So if you're trying to manifest peace or freedom or even abundance or unconditional love, those things may actually not feel safe to your nervous system because that level of safety isn't safe. And this can cause a lot of problems as we start to move into these new frequencies of 2025 and beyond, where we become our highest, truest self, and we become the peace that we are. We become the love that we are. We become the abundance we are. And your nervous system is literally like, no, like I can't do this. And it will sabotage you and sabotage you and sabotage you and sabotage you. Now, here's the piece of this that makes this even more messed up, okay? I've already talked about how the safety isn't safe can be from past lives and you can inherit it. So before you're even born, your nervous system believes this world isn't safe. And it will create a reality that isn't safe in order to prove it is right. See, your nervous system doesn't know right or wrong. It just knows what is. It knows what it's been programmed to believe. And if you're inheriting this, then from the get-go, your nervous system says the world isn't safe. And then you will start to manifest a world that's not safe, a life that's not safe for you. This could be war and famine, but it could also be scarcity and lack, or not being able to get a job that makes your life sing, or maybe you struggle in a business. Those are all things that could be being manifest because your nervous system sees that struggle as safe. So then we start to just manifest this world. And we are provided with all of these manifestations of things that aren't safe, and we're like drawn to it like flies. Dramatic, violent movies, news, corporations. I don't have to explain it. Weather. And it just is just compound. We're just manifesting because our nervous system believes that that level of chaos is actually safer than actually having peace, stillness, balance, abundance. And it just gets like worse and worse and worse. And what happens is then we have children and then we pass that safety isn't safe to them. And then it just grows on top of them. And then they manifest a worse world because of the not just the information that they get, right? Like we're manifesting that because our nervous system is creating proof that it's not safe. So then it creates all these things that we watch, that we consume, that we read, that we listen to, that aren't safe, to just prove to our nervous system that it's right, that safety isn't safe. So in order for us to get to a world where safety is safe, where peace is safe, where balance is safe, where it's joy is safe, kindness is safe, we have to program or reprogram our nervous systems to see that as safe. Otherwise, we will never get it because our nervous system will sabotage it to no end. Because even though it feels good and it's magical and you're so excited about it, your nervous system says, no, that isn't safe, and it will shut it down. So here we are in this fluctuation of time that we go through, and we just keep repeating the same historical patterns over and over and over and over again, right? And it seems to happen when things start to kind of get good, we start to drift back into this not so good. And that's because our nervous system is like, that's not safe. I need to create chaos so that we stay safe. And I find this a lot with my clients who, women, obviously, but also women with different backgrounds who have been traumatized ancestrally. Jews, minorities, African Americans, people of Irish descent. And in their ancestral line, they have programming that says that they're not safe when there's peace. Because peace can be taken away. And then there's this false sense of safety that they get. They get comfortable with the safety, and then they don't see the signs that someone or something is trying to manipulate them to get something. And then they're not prepared for whatever event will happen. So then we manifest something so that so we're on high alert. We're hypervigilant. And in that hypervigilance, we're focused, looking for things that don't make us safe. Our nervous system automatically does that, as well as our mind. And then we actually manifest what we're focused on. The quantum world is strange and really, really hard to understand. And it's taken me years to even wrap around my head of what I have, and me explaining it, I'm definitely not like great at it. But the one thing that I understand with the quantum world, and we're all quantum, whether or not you know it or whether or not you know how to use it properly, it doesn't matter. You are using it subconsciously, whether you know it or not. And the quantum world works on focus. What you focus on, you observe, is what they call the quantum space. You experience. Not a single one of us sees and experiences the same world, nor are we supposed to. We are all supposed to be having different experiences. We are all unique souls. But when we have this safety isn't safe, we're focused on all the things that might be safe. We have anxiety. We might be overly worried about something. We might be running, 10, maybe 20 different what if is in our mind to protect ourselves from something that might happen, that might be a 1 in a million chance that might happen. We're actually leaking our creative force to do that when we could be using that same energy to create the world that we actually feel safe in. But to do that, we have to get our nervous system to be okay with that. Now, we're also holding some of this in cellular memory, but you can get rid of both at the same time and start to get your nervous system back to the place where it feels safe with safety. At some point in thousands of years before, you did feel safe with safety. It was the way we were all created to be. For us to be able to have that world peace, abundance for all, equality for all those things, we have to get to that place. Otherwise, we'll just keep manifesting worse and worse and worse and repeating history because our nervous system actually sees that as safe. And here's one of the other things that I just want to add to this. And this was an epiphany that I had the other day. So we have nervous systems that have problems with this idea that safety is safe. And we have manifested, created news that is super focused on the negative, fear-based, powerlessness-based, anger-based. The same with a lot of the things that are on Netflix, on YouTube, on, I don't know, Disney, whatever platform you're watching of streaming services. The same with books, the same with music we listen to, the same with magazines. They're all focused on this energy of it's not safe. And this is not about blaming anything. We manifested this because our nervous system wouldn't feel safe with anything else. The issue with this is that in the quantum field, there are millions, zillions, probably number that I can't even say, versions of reality. There are a million or zillions different versions of Earth, of the country you live in, the state you live in, the city that you live in, your life, as there are millions and potentially zillions of different versions of yourself, some that have it better than you and some that have it worse than you. But when we are in this reality of safety isn't safe, and we do have these news platforms, the violent and dramatized end of the world, apocalyptic kind of things, books and all that, and we're all reading and watching the same thing, we actually superimpose our focus in that and make that reality realer and realer and realer until we actually pull it into our physical reality. Now, I would say, based on some of the things that my husband watches, because I understand this and I can't even watch it anymore. It doesn't compute. That version of reality that's in a movie is actually happening in the quantum field somewhere, that actually exists. Yes, they made a movie about it and everything else. That was just a way of pulling that reality into this physical reality. And when you watch that movie, you know, my husband would say, oh, it's not real. There's no such thing as not real in the quantum field. Everything is energy. So when you focus on that, you're telling your cells like, hey, I'm observing that and it thinks it's real. And then you start to manifest into your life those things, not the exact thing, but the things in your life that would make you feel the same way that movie made you feel. And we just get drawn into it and drawn into it and drawn into it. It's like an addiction. Our nervous system almost like becomes its addiction to this idea that I need to consume things that make me feel not safe so that I feel safe, which is ridiculous. And if you go on, Netflix or anything, it's really hard to find a comedy because comedy isn't safe. It's fun. It's relaxing. There's nothing necessarily scary about it. It's not based on fear. So our consumption of these things is actually making this nervous system thing worse because we're telling our nervous system, yeah, I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. The world's not safe. There's people in the world that aren't safe. Well, in order for us to get to a world where you are safe and the world is safe, You have to program your nervous system to believe that's safe. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. And this is something that I've had to do for myself and really pull myself back and really tap into my nervous system and see what was actually going on. I was sabotaging. I would get triggered in fear and I would go down this really deep rabbit hole. And it's really just because my nervous system is trying to find proof that it's not safe, and so that it can manifest more of that. It doesn't know that that's wrong. It just knows what it is. So one of the things that I do in my sessions is help get this junk out of your nervous system so that you can actually learn what's true safety is, so that you're not manifesting the next shoe dropping and actually feel safe. You cannot manifest abundance, a partner, not that you can't. It's harder to manifest these things that would make yourself feel safer, right? This idea that money is safety. Well, if you view money as safety and your nervous system doesn't think that safety is safe, it's going to be hard for you to have money because your nervous system thinks scarcity is safer. So the nervous system is huge. I mean, literally, there's not an inch on your body that doesn't have a nerve in it, which is all connected to your nervous system. And it's constantly sending impulses, not just to the brain and other parts of your body, but to your world. That is what creates your energetic field around you, is your nervous system and how you're pulling it in. You could say you're in joy, or you could say you're in a love, but if your nervous system doesn't see that level of love or joy as safe, it's hard to see it in your life. And if you get it, your nervous system will more than likely sabotage it. If you want help with this, and there is a way out, I have done it. I'm working with clients who are doing it, and they're starting to see, sometimes when I talk about things, I clear things, and that happens. So I apologize. So that you can unlock your nervous system, so it will allow the things in that you actually want in your life: the abundance, the love, the joy, the job, the business, the partner, the friends, the travel, the freedom, whatever it is. And in that, start to actually manifest things into your world outside of you, things to consume that are aligned with the world you want to see, and get your nervous system to see that as safe, so that you start manifesting more and more proof of that. And you start building into this collective that is also on that same, because their nervous system sees it as safe. In the comments below, I would love, love, love to hear how you feel about this idea that safety isn't safe. And if you have a pendulum or you know how to muscle test, you can ask your nervous system if it feels safe with safety, or if it feels safe with abundance or love or any of these other things, to start to see where your nervous system actually might be sabotaging you without you knowing it. And if you find yourself drawn to consume all this fear-based stuff, then there's a sign that something inside of you feels safe with that, or is addicted to the emotions that are produced by that. And instead of just being drawn to it, actually look at why that is, because the life that you want actually lives outside of you, no longer being addicted to those things. So your body, mind, and nervous system feel safe, or I don't like to use the word addicted to, joy, love, and all those things, so that it manifests that world instead of a world that feels upside down and inside out right now. Okay. Hope this was helpful. I would love to hear that in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.